Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got the very first Valentine's nail design coming from me this year, 2023. We are going to start it off with a very simple nail design. We've got Double Trouble from Madam Glam. It's a beautiful red shade. And we also have a white, which is 1323 from Cloud Beauty. So like I said, we're going to kick it off with a very simple set. I find Valentine's nail designs quite difficult to get creative with. At least creative in the sense of it being easy to recreate and create. I find that with Valentine's you can think of bears and roses and all of these things, but it's so hard to kind of put it onto a nail unless you've got crazy skills, which unfortunately I do not have, so I have to do what I got. So we're going to kick it off with a simple nail design. I'm going to show you a really cool technique with applying glitter using gel polish. So that'll be a fun little trick in today's video, and just overall a cute little red love heart nail design. So we're going to start off with applying our base colours. So we've got 2 full red nails and we've got 2 white nails. The fifth nail, I was almost going to say fourth. The fifth nail is going to be half white and half red. When it comes to the red, I'm not quite sure whether I've just got a funny batch or whether this gel polish in particular is that jelly-like, but ever since I got it, it's been jelly-like, but I've had kind of no issues with it. When you apply your first layer, it's quite sheer as you can see, but the moment you apply your second layer, it becomes so much more opaque, and it actually has a really cool finish to it, almost that very opaque, but then almost that very slight jelly feel to it. It's quite interesting. So I thought I'll give that one a whirl in today's design. So here it is. It's not exactly in the middle. It's a bit more, I don't know, maybe more red than white. And then once you're happy, pop it into the lamp. I will apply 2 layers off camera, which I've already done, sitting in the background. And now it's time for our little glitter technique. So for the biggest time, I've been trying to figure out how can I put like a cluster of glitter onto a nail. This is it. I just guessed it. It's probably a thing. I just never knew about it until I started playing about. But what I'm going to do is actually sprinkle on, well, actually put quite a lot clearly into some base coat. I'm going to mix it in almost as though I'm making my own gel polish. So I'm going to mix it in together. At first I did with my nail art brush, which was a silly idea. It's a very thin nail art brush. I don't know what I was thinking. In a minute I'm going to pick up one of those poly gel brushes, which are much wider, which is going to make it so much easier to apply. And I'm just mixing it in. Here I noticed that it almost looks like the gel was very thick because of course there's a lot of glitter in there, so I do add a bit of extra base coat. You just basically want to make it into your own consistency. I wanted it super pigmented. I want it to literally be like chunks of glitter wherever I place it. But if you wanted it to be a very nice subtle kind of sheer clear glitter, clear gel polish with just a hint of glitter, you can absolutely do that. But the goal today was to almost create this clustered glitter. Like, I don't want any sheer bits. I want it to be very nice and pigmented. So start off with my nail art brush. As you can see, I will change any minute and then you just want to start applying. So we're going to use 2 nails today to apply our glitter. And I am going to use my brush, and I'm going to start with the first nail. I'm placing the majority of it at the bottom. I'm going to change brushes now. There we go. So much easier. I highly recommend using a wider brush. So much easier to apply. And then later we're going to actually use an ombre brush to kind of scatter the glitter upwards to almost create a fading effect. So here, as you can see, it's so pigmented. It literally covered up so well, as you can see. I had no curing issues. I'm not sure whether curing could be an issue, I'm not quite sure, but I had absolutely no issues. I tried this method a few times now and it worked every time. So it's literally a little charm. So here I'm trying to feather it up a little bit, but we'll end up picking up my ombre brush in a second from Madam Glam. And here I'm just kind of working the product that I just created, kind of trying to scatter the glitter where I want it. Of course, the higher you get, the less glitter I want to use. I want it to kind of give that faded effect. And for this nail in particular, I'm trying to make the most concentrated glitter area to be the bottom. For the next nail that we're going to do, I'm going to want to flip it around and make the top the most concentrated area. So there we are. I ended up picking up my Madam Glam brush. It did help a lot, fading it upwards. I just didn't really wanted it to be a natural fade. I didn't want it to be kind of like a harsh fade. You can play about with it. There's no rush. This is gel. It won't cure, which is the beauty in this. So just play about with it until you are happy and then pop it into the lamp. So the reason I really wanted to create these kind of glitter fades is because recently I've done a few Builder gel nails and stuff like that, and I was struggling to apply enough glitter where I wanted it, you know, to be very just full, almost like an acrylic. When people use acrylic and they place a glitter acrylic, it's just so full and pigmented and just so just so pretty, and I really struggled to do that with the gel. I was trying to apply a base coat and then apply the glitter into the base coat whilst it's already on a nail, and I was just having the worst time and I had to do a few layers. But now that I've tried this method, it literally works so well. So I hope it helps somebody. Let me know if this is a complete no-no. I'm not quite sure. This is just a, DIY technique that I figured out recently, and it's been working really well for me. So it's been curing. I've had no issues. Of course, you want to work thinly. You don't want to go too crazy, but the fact that the glitter is incorporated into the gel, it makes it so much easier to put the glitter chunks on top of each other to create that much more fuller look with the glitter. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know if it is, if you've tried it, or if you don't recommend it, let me know, because this is a bit of a learning curve for me and probably quite a few of you. If I had the issue, I'm sure there's other people who are having this exact same issue. So here I'm just messing about with the glitter again, just placing it where I want it. And as you can see, it started to kind of slide at the top, where you've kind of start to see the whites. I do in a minute go back and make sure the sides are covered and the top is covered, because I wanted it, of course, to be covered. I didn't want any white bits hanging around where I don't want it. So here I'm going to start filling in the sides, pushing up down the glitter if needs be, or adding a little bit extra to just cover up the white bits. And then once you're happy, pop it into the lamp. Because I have product in a gel, which obviously naturally wasn't there, I decided to double cure it, sometimes triple cure it, just for safety, just because I wanted to make sure that it gets done well. And because it's bumpy, I do go ahead and apply another layer of base coat on top. Ideally, maybe applying a builder gel would be better, or clear acrylic, just something to cap the glitter in, because of course it's bumpy, and if you're doing it for a client, you don't want them to have like a scratchy, rough surface on their nails. So I'm applying a fairly generous amount of this base coat, and then I'm going to go ahead and cure it. If you want, you can apply a few and just file down the bulk to make it all nice and thin. It's all completely down up to you. So here is today's plate that we're going to use to create our love hearts. There was no way in this world that I was going to be able to actually hand paint those hearts, especially the ones that I decided to use today. There's literally no way anyone can do that. It's such a thin, very detailed nail design. There's no way. At least I can't. So for the half red, half white, I'm going in with this beautiful heart design in the left bottom corner. So I really like the way that the hearts were kind of incorporated into one another. They're kind of layered on top of each other, and I thought it was so pretty. So I thought, let me stamp it using some white stamping polish from Born Pretty, and I'm going to stamp it only on the red layer. So there we are. Beautiful. So that's our first stamping nail. We've got 2 more stamping nails to do, and for the other 2 we're going to use the image and next to the one we just used. So this one is a bit more not on top of each other. It's separated, it's next to each other, but I like the different combinations of hearts that they've created. We've got some thick lined hearts, we've got some thin ones, we've got almost like squiggles inside of hearts. I just really like the variety of hearts it gave, and I thought it would look so cute on this very simple heart design today. So we're going to stamp it. Of course, this is always the case with my videos. We have to double stamp, always an issue, but we can always make it work somehow, and it's almost like a try and error. At first I found it quite intimidating and scary to do. I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to double stamp such an image like this on one nail and without making it look like it was double stamped? And it's actually much more easier than you think. You just need to get rid of some images right at the top, some little fragments of the image to make it work. So you see in just a second, I'm going to place the white stamping polish. I'm going to scrape it using my clear jelly scraper, and then I'm using a Born Pretty picker up a stamper. So there we are. So I'm going to get rid of a few little bits, because as you can see at the top, the hearts are kind of cut off, so you'll be instantly able to tell that there was once upon a time a heart that was supposed to be there, but you double stamped. So my little scraper did not want to pick up anything, and that's probably because the image dried already. But I'm going to use a lint roller to roll away any areas that I didn't want. And when you do this, you want to be very careful, because the lint roller, of course, is very large. So you want to be very careful, very slow. Obviously, the video is going to show me being very quick, but I wasn't. This is sped up. So I was very gentle, very slow, even though I still took out little images that I didn't want to, but I managed to. And here we are. So you can't tell at all. So I'm going in again. I wanted to show you guys again, because I find this but it's always the hardest when I was starting out, so I wanted to make sure you guys know what you're doing. So we're going to double stamp again the same image. Here's my lint roller again. I cannot literally live without it. When I first started stamping, I didn't use a lint roller, and now that I found it and I've been using it, it's literally been a massive game saver. So if you are also a beginner, then definitely have a lint roller at hand. It will literally be so helpful. You can use this sticky tape too, but it's just, you know, a bit more, it's going to be sticky, and you're going to have to, you know, use so much tape, and it's just not going to be as easy as just a quick roll, and you're good to go again to carry on stamping. Especially when you're doing clients, you want to be as efficient and as quick as possible to get them in and out of the door and onto the next. So here we're going to remove a few images again. I'm not quite sure if lint roller it is. There we go. I'm just gonna bloop. Sometimes when you go over it, it will literally kind of come off even if you just got a corner, but sometimes it doesn't, so you're just gonna have to try and try. Sometimes you might end up getting rid of more than you wanted to. You have to just go with the flow. Sometimes it can be a bit harder. It's just, you know, I decided to get rid of those ones too. I clearly went a bit too low there. So let's get rid of those, and then we'll be able to stamp again. So you want to align it perfectly, hence why a clear stamper is the go-to, especially when you're a beginner. I've got a video, or maybe the video is already up. If it's up, I'll leave a link in the description of all the essentials that you need to start stamping. I thought it would be a very informative and helpful video for anyone who wants to get into stamping, because sometimes I'm using products, but maybe you want just like a little guide to get all the goodies, and, you know, either you want to recreate my videos or just helpful guidance, but it'll be nice for you guys to have the products and know where to start when you're starting out. Because especially me, when I was starting out, definitely was watching those kind of videos, where to start, what companies to use, where to go, all of that good stuff. So now that the stamping has been done, it's time to top coat. So today we're actually going to use a glossy top coat for a little change, and I'm going to apply on all of those nails. I was clearly running out here, so I've got it scooped on the side, but sometimes when I scoop on the side, it's actually much fuller than I thought, and then it ends up spilling out of the top. So just in case, I placed a little lint-free roller? No, it's a lint-free wipe. I placed a lint-free wipe down to ensure that doesn't happen, but it actually didn't. So for real, this time it was empty, because the amount of times I've tried to get in there and it just won't come out. Nothing will do, nothing will help it just won't come out. And then I tip on the side, and suddenly all of it comes pouring out of the top. Suddenly it's so full, I don't know. It's like black magic in there. Must be a black hole or something. So once we've applied the glossy top coat, of course, go ahead, cure those, and then we can start applying our crystals. Today, because I wanted to start it off pretty simple, I want it to be incredibly recreational. Of course, the one thing you need will be that stamping plate, but as long as you've got it, you can do it, or even any other hot kind of designs you can use on this nail design too. And then we can now apply our charms and crystals. So usually you'd want to apply, of course, your crystals and charms before top coating. I'm just being a little bit quick and lazy over here. So for this nail here, we're going to apply the bow, so we're going to pop that into the lamp, and now we are going to also apply some crystals on the corner of one of those nails. And it's just a super simple crystal placement. You want to place the largest crystal on the right hand side top corner, and then maybe 3 crystals on either side, and you want to just go in size order, so the largest in the center, the smallest on the sides, and that'll be it. Usually if you want it to be extra, you can add some cabo beads, which I sometimes like to do, but today I just really wanted to keep it cute, simple, nothing too crazy, something incredibly recreational and effective. I think it's very effective, and I love the way the glitter came out. In a moment I'll show you guys the final results, and that glitter is beautiful. I literally cannot kind of wait to do like a pink. I think I have done a few pink Valentine sets, but from today basically I'll be scattering some Valentine sets every so often, maybe once a week or something, leading up to Valentine's. I'm not sure whether I'm too late or I'm too early. I am filming this one a little bit earlier than usual, so I'm not quite sure yet what's happening in February or mid-Jan, but this is when I'm going to start creating them and uploading them. Hopefully it's on time and everyone else is also on board with all of that. So here are the final results. Look how crazy good that glitter looks. I just cannot believe it. It's beautiful. I love it. I think it's so pretty, and I would certainly be rocking those on Valentine's for sure. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I will have all the links to the products used down in the description. And hopefully I shall see you all in my next video. Bye guys!